Hi, welcome to Sujata Iyer Talk Show. And today's guest is someone who has served the Indian Army for more than 20 plus years in different countries representing India. He has also commanded the artillery unit in Gujarat. It gives me immense pleasure to have Colonel Ajay Dabur with us on this show today. You are from the Indian Army and you have the journey in the Indian Army. So I want to know, how has your journey been the Indian Army?
Yeah. So, Sujata, that's a question which is it's a question of a lifetime, a lifetime journey. I have to answer that. I spent 20 plus years with Indian Army, and I joined after graduation. I was through with my MBA, and I got selected in services also. So I had a choice to take, and I decided to join Army and don uniform at that age, and there was no looking back thereafter, no regrets thereafter. I started my career from Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, and thereafter uh, I went on to serve in all terrains of India, be it Jammu and Kashmir or vast Thar desert or everywhere. And uh, in Kashmir, I was awarded a Chief of the Army Staff Commendation Card for gallantry for showing a gallant act. And thereafter, I went on to clear prestigious Defense Services Staff College at Wellington. And incidentally, I was the youngest officer of my course. I did it much early in my service. And thereafter, I was handpicked by Indian Navy on overseas deployment to Europe, to 7 different countries of Europe. It's an exercise conducted by Navy every year and once in a decade to US and Europe, wherein they reach out to the different countries of the world to extend the hand of friendship and show their power that they can reach out to any part of the world. So I was picked up from Army along with Navy and represented my country there. And then the best moment of my life came that I uh, was fortunate to command an artillery unit. I became a commanding officer. This is the dream of every Indian Army officer, to command a unit. The most satisfying and most fulfilling, I would say, accomplishment one can have. 700 plus people, 100 plus vehicles, and so many guns, and you are into it in totality. And incidentally, my unit, after my command, was awarded one of the best unit overall. When I say overall, it is everything: happiness quotient, professionalism, and you name it, and we did it. Towards end of my career, I say end of my career because I was posted to Army Training Command at Shimla, where the think tanks of Indian Army are there, who are conceptualizing the training part of Indian Army. There, I took a decision to move on because the culture and the format of working there was very much akin to corporate world. We were not putting on uniform. We were dressed like this, the way I am. Yeah. And there I decided to move on and contribute to a larger world. So if I sum it up by saying that very dynamic, very fulfilling, every day was enriching. There was not even a single moment there was a dull moment. So I'm grateful what I achieved through my military career. That's how it is.
Yeah. So, sir, it is a very dynamic experience and variety of things that you've done, from army to being involved with the navy, not only being in not only being in your own country, but going abroad and representing India. So it's a lot of as in, you have a lot of experience around and you've seen people around. So how was it when you had represented India outside? So how did you feel about that?
So that was, I would say, very interesting experience, very enriching. I learned a lot. Uh, we were not supposed to be carrying our passports. We were like the diplomats to those countries, and right. I got a exposure to meet the different dignitaries of those countries apart from military personals, and learned a lot in terms of diplomacy, military, and other cultures of their countries. So I came back. When I came back, I was a different person altogether. I had so much of knowledge, exposure, and experience after being on overseas deployment, what they call it. So it was an experience of lifetime.
Yes. And having said that, sir, that you have moved from one place to another, you're physically fit. So, like, we are the people who are in the desk job. So, what is the advice that you would like to give to us, people like us who are having desk jobs?
Yeah, Sujata, that's a very relevant one. In fact, after moving on from army, I am also working for corporate world, and I see that more or less most of us are stuck
Yeah.
to our laptops, machines, or and sitting on the desk and continuously working there.
Yeah.
So, since I have experienced this myself, I can tell you that there are primarily two impacts it have on you. First is the physical aspect of it, and then the psychological aspect. Coming on to physical aspect, that you all understand that if you are sitting in a particular posture for a very long time, it has effect or impact on your body, on different parts of your body, and it restricts your movement, and the a lot of people develop a lot of complication in terms of spondylitis or other related issues. So that is something which is completely avoidable, and I'll come to that how do we work on that. Also, the aspect of psychological part of it, that when you are stuck to your machine or your computer looking into a data, you're totally submerged into your data, you're
Yeah.
disconnected from the world around you. You feel that only you are working there and there's nobody around and there's no team with you. You just want to do what you see on the monitor, and it psychologically restricts you in your imagination, your creativity, though you feel that you are being very productive about it, but being stuck to your monitor continuously gets down your creativity and imagination. So these are two effects which I see that people stuck to their desk jobs undergo. So how do we cater for that? This is something which I want to suggest all my audience, that uh, please do take breaks. Somebody was mentioning me just now that, hi Ajay, you know that sitting is new smoking. So so I, I I told him that yes, we must take breaks. Yes, you all of you must be thinking, yeah, we do take breaks. No, you can have shorter breaks, periodic breaks. We have mobile phones, we have smart watches, which gives you indication that this much time you already spent sitting. Why don't you get up, stretch yourself, just get up from your chair, walk up. Um, Work on ergonomics of your office, that it is every table or every furniture cannot be designed as per every individual, but it has to be in a manner that you don't harm yourself sitting in a particular posture for a very long time. This is very, very essential. Also, the very essential part of it is when you get up from your chair, you walk around, you meet your team members.
Yeah.
Your mind opens, you interact with them. May not always be the official or the professional or the formal things. It can be a normal talk also. You walk the talk over coffee. And um, believe you me, if you, instead of sending mails or text, if you just walk up to somebody, the idea is conveyed in a better manner, understood taken in a better manner, and resolved faster. So
Right.
it is a two-way, that you got up from your chair, you met your team, you interacted with them, and overall, psychologically, you felt very nice. This is the one part of it. Now, coming to the why not have breaks on the weekends? You may go for a walk. If you may like, you go for cycling, biking, whatever you can do. Have party with your friends, have fun, spend some time. So you need to take breaks. This is very, very essential, and this does not consume your time. Time spent on entertainment, as I always say, time spent on entertainment is never wasted. So it re-energizes you, recreates the energy in you. So it is very, very essential that you must get up from a chair, walk around, and meet people.
Yeah. So, like, sir, how you have mentioned that, you go and meet people, and that is how you will also have resolutions faster, more than sending the emails or having the chat. So, the next question is actually related to that only. That most of us, like, we grow up in the career in the corporate ladder. So when you're a senior leader and there is a difficult problem or a difficult situation, how would you fix that? Because I'm asking you this because you have a wide range of experience while for leading a team already in the army background. Of there must always have been a situation where you have been in a difficult time, but you as a leader have managed to encourage your troop. So what would you advise to the senior leaders?
So I'll tell you, this is coming from I would say, huge experience.
Yeah.
I have managed teams varying from size of 10 people to 700 people in different scenarios, different circumstances. And I have learned it two ways. The team has also gained from me, and I have also learned from them. And then when I'm sharing this experience with my audience, um, it has a lot of personal experience involved in this, and this is not from a book or from a thought given by someone. Understand one thing: moment there is a challenge, there's a problem, don't get into the blame game. The normal human tendency or the standard format culture people follow is that who is the person to be blamed for that? Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't start blaming somebody at the. Don't get into the fault finding part of it.
Yeah.
First, with your experience, maturity, and knowledge, whatever you as a senior leader understand, sit back, analyze. I call it RCA, root cause analysis. You do analyze that what could have been the reasons. Focus on the inputs. Don't work on outputs. Outputs will automatically flow out of it. See
Right.
the inputs which were given at that point of time. Then please identify if the problem has arisen for some reason. Were the person or the team adequately trained to execute that task? Were they provided sufficient tools? Were the resources were correct? As a senior leader, you have to analyze that. And what I generally do is I do look at the past experience in the similar kind of situation, that how we would have dealt a similar challenge, and what all actions were planned and executed at that point of time. Also get in know-how of your competitors or the best in the market, that how they are dealing with such challenges. So two three things about it. First, don't get into the blame part of it. Analyze yourself, include your team, have an open discussion. There may be a lot of things which their team might not open up to you if you approach them in that manner, that I am here to find who is wrong about it, and who is the person to be blamed for this thing. Believe you me, the real problem will never emerge. They will
Right.
cover it up. They will justify themselves. Idea is not to get hold of somebody. Idea is to find the problem, and for that you have to develop that confidence in your team. Once you develop that confidence, they will come up with a lot of things. They will tell you the anecdotes. They will tell you the personal experiences. They will tell you there's an error in the data, endless things. And once you have the plethora of information, you can filter out, and then you can do the analysis along with your team. Two things will happen. You will get a long-lasting, sustainable solution to that,
Yeah.
which is very, very essential. We are not looking for quick fixes. Secondly, your team will develop confidence in it. Your
Yeah.
team will feel that yes, our manager, our leader is with us. Even if we go wrong in future, if we step out of our comfort zone and try to do something more than what we are expected to do, our back has been taken care of by our manager, our leader. So that confidence enhances their ability to perform even better. So please don't start blaming on that. That is the starting point. That's how I see as a senior leader.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. So, because if a manager, sends across a good message and a positive message that it is okay to make mistakes, you all are humans and human errors are possible. But understanding why did you make that mistake? Is it an understanding problem, or is it a human error that has happened? And then taking it forward, maybe clearing the understanding, and maybe if it is a human error, asking them to be more vigilant, but then at least empathizing with them at the same point that it is okay to make mistakes, and taking the ownership on behalf of the team. So that actually, as a person or an employee or a team, to my senior manager, I'll feel good about it. And maybe the next time, if I feel I have done something, I'll upfront go and talk to my manager and tell them that I think I've
Absolutely,
done something
absolutely.
wrong.
That is the
Yeah,
confidence you have to generate in your team. Then you will work like a team. And you got it
yeah,
right, Sujata. Absolutely, you got the gist of it. This is very, very
yeah.
essential.
So that's a perfectly good positive environment to work in. Then even then, a person will have that confidence to walk up, and maybe there will be no errors, which is not possible. But then, yeah, limited errors,
Yes, yes, yes.
and there is always a learning.
Yes, yes. The learning is endless. The day you start feeling that I won't learn, I can't improve, then as I am working in an organization where we call it, it's still day one. So that's
Yeah.
how it is.
Oh, wow, that's nice one. Yeah. So one last question, sir. So you have a wide experience, like 20 years plus. So your journey has been long enough to carry a lot of experiences. So any lessons or any experience that you want to share, or any memory that you want to share from your army background?
So there are a few key lessons which I learned or understood with my vast experience with military and then later on with the corporate. Um, I can tell you like after completing a journey or a experience, then at the end of it you realize something. This is coming from there. That what I have learned. Most important thing for each one of us in an organization or as an individual, please have a balanced approach. You
Mm.
cannot be extreme. I am like this and I do like this. I behave
Yeah.
like this. Please accept me like this. Sorry, that does not work. Have a balanced approach that yes, if it is like this, I can do that. I will become that. I will learn that. And it has to be very dynamic. You have to be a very dynamic personality. You cannot be seen or branded as a kind of a person as a
Yeah.
Mr. X is like this. That does not work in long run. You may feel very confident about yourself. No, no, I am seen like that. But no, no, please do have a balanced approach. When it comes to work-life balance, when it comes to your team, when it comes to you yourself don't be very harsh on yourself and have a very balanced approach in life. This is something very, very important. Next, I feel which enhances your ability, or I would say, I'm missing out the right word here, but something is very important for each one of us to be empathetic in our team.
Mm.
Empathy is very, very important. By empathy, I mean, please behave with the person or your team or any individual in a manner the way you want yourself to be treated as.
Right.
It is very, very important. Any if you feel that if somebody speaks to you in this manner or somebody makes a comment like this on about your work or your personality or whatever, you don't feel good about it. Please don't, you yourself don't do it. Empathy has to be genuine.
Yeah.
People can see through it. You cannot act empathy. You cannot read from a book or do some lesson or some courses and then
Right.
you say that I'm trying to be empathetic later. People can see through it. So that genuine empathy has to be that you have to understand how a person standing in front of you sees you, expects from you, and this is the way you have to interact with the people around you. And
Yeah.
it does not specifically talks about the organization or a company you're working in. It is your friends, your relatives, a group of people, any team, anywhere, be it an official session or an informal get together. Have that ability in you to empathize with the person standing in front of you. One more essential thing I learned during this my long journey. To all my viewers, please don't be serious. Be sincere.
Yeah.
When I say sincere, uh, be owner of your own actions.
Yeah.
Don't feel that you can get away without doing it or justifying it. You may mitigate a particular situation. You may get away with a particular situation by making some excuses, or may procrastinate in some time and some moment. That does not work. Understand? You have to be very sincere. Sincerity has to come from your actions, your behavior, and the sincerity makes you confident also. But All this does not mean that you should start looking serious and behaving serious and talking very seriously. No, these two things are not interrelated. You can be
Yeah.
joking around, you can be meeting your team, you're cracking a joke once in a while, smiling with your team, keeping the humor high in your team, yet being sincere about your work
Yeah.
works wonderfully for each one of us. So these three things, or there are a lot of things, but these three things, I believe, as a leader, you must imbibe them. That should be I would say, you start from this in your leadership personality. That's
Yeah,
it, Sujata.
very, very incredibly put across, sir. And I think these are the main points that it will be helpful for everyone when they're growing in their career. So it's nice to have it from you again. Any takeaway that you would want to give to the viewers before ending the show?
So we all are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav,
Yeah,
75 glorious years of our independence. Jai Hind to all my viewers, and a very happy Independence Day to you all. Thank
yeah.
you.